Shemai GTA chums, this is the MTL Brickade 6x6, the best vehicle to be released with the Drugs Wars DLC, and this is how you get it. Well, you go up north, find Ron, and then do 6 missions, and that'll take you to the Freak Shop, where you will get it for free. The cost is, of course, interaction with strange characters. Exactly, and some psychedelic kind of missions, which are quite fun actually, and easily doable with one player, as long as you use your Karuma, which is invaluable. This is the setup once you've completed those missions for the Drugs Lab, which will go in the back, which is the Acid Lab. The Acid Lab upgrade costs you 750 grand, but you will really need to do the boost for that, which is 250 grand. This is the extra upgrade to the lab, and you unlock that by doing 10 DAX missions. So here's a delivery motorbike. You can upgrade that, and they all come with bulletproof tyres anyway, but you need to do the engine upgrades, etc., which we will also do on the Brickade. So here's the Brickade, and there's the Acid Lab upgrade equipment, so 10 fooligan jobs, see. You need to do them to make it productive. Mines, we can put on the EMP mines. You have all the Arena War mines there, which is excellent. The RAM as well is very much similar to Arena War. I'd go for heavy RAM or large scoop. There's a bit of ground clearance issues with the large scoop, so maybe the heavy RAM is better. Yes, so here's all the engine upgrades, lovely jubbly. Liveries, we've even got liveries on this. Unlike the Terrorbyte, you have liveries, so that makes it a customizationable Terrorbyte really, with RAM and mines. But no missiles on board, unfortunately. You can't have it all though. So there's all the transmission, all that, me checking the wheels to make sure they're bulletproof. And next we're going to take it for a little drive. So how do we request our Acid Lab? It's just like the Kozatka and all that business. And the Terrorbyte. Request it. I've called it Acid Lab Rador there. But you could name it after whatever the lab is called in Breaking Bad. Has it got a name? I don't think it has really. But people imagine it has got a name. I don't know. I have not watched all of that. Business battle. Okay. So we're going to drive a short distance to find this thing. First off, bulletproof windows. This is a Nemani Tech car, right? It's not got bulletproof windows. Those aren't bulletproof at all. This is the 300R, which costs 2 million. And more like an extra 150 grand for the bulletproofing. Whereas these are bulletproof. Takes about 15 rounds until it loses its bullet resistance, not proof. But it's a great vehicle because it's got the RAM and the mines. That's why it's better than the 300R ultimately. And it doesn't have the missile lock-on jammer on, but you don't need it because it will take millions and millions of missiles. I think it's 48 RPG rockets. It's got a lot of understeer though because it's a truck. Oh, and speaking of drivetrain, steering, it's actually 4-wheel drive. It's the rear 4 that drive the whole thing. So it's like the whole shebang. It's like a rear-wheel drive truck. And it drives like a truck. It's pretty quick in a straight line. Tight corners it's not good on because it's a truck. But you can chase people in a roughly straight line situation, or if they're driving a rubbish NPC car. You can catch up with them and you can hike them like a mofreaker. We're in a group session just because I was hoping for someone to try and grief me, but they're not going to, are they? Out of the rear, right? So that out of the rear we have the mines. That's the word. EMP mines is what I put on it. You can put the slick mines on, but I think EMP are best. As you saw there, maybe one of the cars I think just disabled. It disables the engine for a few seconds, so you could use it to escape from people. There it is. See the car's engine's disabled there. You can use it mainly for running away. Let's go on this bridge. Let's carry on where we were going because there's a chum up there who seems to be just swirling around. Are they on the bridge? No, I don't think they are. I think they're below the bridge, unfortunately. So maybe we should just go and say hello to them, see if they are there. While I talk a bit more about some of the skill in this vehicle. So if you want to request it through the menu there, let's say we get rid of it and want to request it again in a short period of time. There's a 5-minute cooldown, much like the Oppressor Mark II. Where's our chum here? Hello, chum. What the hell? Wow, that's a hell of an interesting position. A hell of an interesting view. I should have gone into first person for that. But it's essentially the way I would describe this vehicle is it's like the Arena Wars trucks, but it's got weapon resistance. It's got armor basically. That is the big difference and the main reason why you're going to want it. And I think you will want it because it's always good to have an extra piece of kit in your armory, because you never know what you're going to come up against, you never know what you're going to lose, and you don't want to be calling Morris Mutual. You do not need to call Morris Mutual when this gets destroyed. It's exactly the same as all the other kind of stuff like the MOC, the Terrorbyte and that kind of business. But I think it's better for one player because it's more fun, because it does that, it just hikes the cars into the air, and it has huge potential there. And if someone's chasing you, you can run away from them easily because you've got those mines that you're just going to deposit upon them, and they're soon going to slow down and eventually give up on you. Yes, lock-on missiles, if they're persistent enough, they will blow you up. It takes about 50 odd, as I will show you at the end of this vehicle. Video, as I like to call them. I like to call them vehicles. Now, if you don't want to do the 6 missions, eventually it should come into Warstock for about 1.5 million, and I'd say it's worth it partially. Actually, it's worth it for fun. Actually, I've got to be honest. I would buy it just for the fun. I bought the original Blockade, and it's rubbish. It gets blown up with one missile. This is everything it should have been originally. So it's a great vehicle for that reason. Anyway, I've talked enough at this point. You want to see the explosive damage on this vehicle, because that is what it's all about. Whoa, you see that then? Now there's a bit of clipping, so notice when the suspension came down low, this ram got caught. So that is one thing to bear in mind when you put on the Mega Ram. Maybe you want to put the next higher up ram, but I mean, it might not ram the vehicles as well. So that's one to bear in mind. Let's see if we can get this chum down here just before we launch into end mode. There we go. They're curious what's going on. What's going on here? They're thinking, no, they've run away. We'll leave them to it. Let's check the resistance then. So all that remains is to blow it up. Look at the product on the bottom right. Okay, I'm going to just show you that when you blow it up, the product remains unchanged from the looks of it. So you can drive around in session with no worries. This is about, I couldn't count, I mean it's about 55 or 60 missiles to blow it up, and this is all speeded up of course. And so yeah, is it worth it? Yes it is. Even for one, if you're paying 1.5 million for it, if you've missed out on the 6 missions, if you don't want to do the 6 missions, I'd say it's still worth it for the weaponization, the fun element, and as a business, because I think it's a very good business as well. But you need to do the upgrade, as in do 10 DAX missions. There it is, blown up to the hilt. If you found this useful, like, subscribe. But otherwise, thanks for watching. Give me a comment on what you think of this. There it is. It reforms again. You don't need to call Morris Mutual, basically. How good is that? Brilliant stuff, eh?